Ian Tomlinson, oh mate, when I saw the reports yesterday for Ian Tomlinson, it's just like I went apoplectic, just mad. Yeah, it's because it's been reported that the jury decided that what's his name, Simon Harwood, is it? PC Simon Harwood, I think his name is. I might be wrong. The guy who killed Ian Tomlinson. He actually, in his report, in his statement, he admitted that he'd done something wrong. Yeah, he said that I now know it was wrong for me to attack Ian Tomlinson as he was walking away from the police lines. Yeah, that's what helped the verdict of unlawful killing in the coroner with the coroner report. With that, I can't remember the exact words, but then. So they had to have the trial to see if he murdered him or not, and it was only manslaughter. No, it wasn't manslaughter, it was murder, yeah? And I know that people will say, oh, it's got to be premeditated or anything. Yeah, if you're attacking someone with a shield and a baton, yeah, you're going to hurt them, yeah? And it's not like, oh, I didn't mean to kill him, I just wanted to maim him. You know what I mean? It don't work like that, mate. You fucking killed him, yeah? And like, so now, the media is reporting that the jury spent 18 and a bit hours deciding whether he was guilty of manslaughter or not. Yeah. So I got a friend over in Ireland. Yeah, and he phoned me up and said, "Have you heard about the Ian Tomlinson thing?" He's like, "No," and I was like, "Oh, they're a bunch of cunts." Ah! Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, but did the judge direct the jury?" And I was like, "That." Shit, once again, I let my emotions fucking, oh, they're a bunch of cunts, you know what I mean? And I'm so glad that I got friends who actually got better critical minds than I have, yeah, because I'm an emotional guy. And so I turned around to me and said, like, were they directed by the judge? Because like, when he says directed by the judge, the judge will say, these are the parameters that you have to decide whether he's guilty or not. Yeah, that's being directed by the judge, which he's not allowed to do. Yeah, but they're still doing it. You know what I mean? We're lucky that there was even a fucking jury in this trial. You know what I mean? I was like that. What do you mean they had a fucking jury? I never had a fucking jury. You know, mind you, that was magistrate's court. It wasn't Crown. Yeah, but still, like fucking, oh. It just does me head in, like, yeah, that I can still emotionally get like so angry without fucking fully knowing the details. Now he's going to get back to me on that because he's a bit more thorough in his investigations, yeah, and he's going to get back to me. He's going to send me the links to the transcripts of the trial, like, yeah, where then you'll find out if the judge directed him, yeah, and then if the judge directed them, yeah, he'd have said it in such a way that the only way they can do is find him fucking not guilty. And that's what takes the fucking piss, because like the judge is a referee, mate. You know what I mean? He's not. Oh, these are what you have to think about. Yeah, it's supposed to be the common man getting together and going, right, do we think he killed him or not? Yeah, he killed him. Right, then he's guilty. Yeah, but they give us all these different categories now. Oh, it's manslaughter, premeditated manslaughter, fucking the whole lot. And on top of that, yeah, with them finding him not guilty, this now gives every other copper involved in a situation where there might be a protest going on the right to kill you. Yeah, and go, oh, sorry. You know what I mean? He never fucking said sorry, mate. You know what I mean? He never said sorry. He just said, what I did was wrong. Yeah? So you're guilty there, mate. Simon Harwood, you're a fucking murderer, mate. Yeah? Come and see me. Take me to fucking civil court, you murdering bastard. Yeah? Oh, and then because we're not allowed to tell the jury of his previous violent nature. Yeah? Oh, yeah, we'll let them find out afterwards. Oh, yeah, because they don't want to prejudice him. Look, the geezer's fucking wearing a uniform. He killed someone that he swore to protect, man. Oh, well, he was drunk and it looked like he wanted the police to... It looked like he wanted the police to move. Okay, I want you to move me along, and this is how I'm going to do it. All right, mate, see you later. Because I'm hanging around. And that's all fucking Tomlinson did. He walked away like that. He's walking. He's not like going, fuck yeah, I ain't going nowhere because I'm pissed. Yeah, that would give the copper a right, but he had his back to him. You know what I mean? And you're telling me that that ain't murder? It sickens me. It sickens me. And like me just putting this kind of energy into that situation ain't fucking helping either. You know what I mean? But someone's got to fucking say it, because it's not being presented to us the way the majority of us feel. I mean, look what happened with Raoul Moat. He had a fucking fan page, mate. Oh, just you're winding yourself up, you end up winding up other people, and then it's just a fire. You're just setting off fireworks, mate. You know what I mean? There's actually no sense in in getting this animated and not actually getting anything done with it. You know what I mean? We need to, people like us, if you agree with me or not, like, yeah, we need to start doing the talking and the thinking instead of having somebody else telling us what we're talking about and what we're thinking. Because we ain't doing that. The majority of us ain't even fucking focused on the bullshit that's happening to us right now. Because they've got to go and work for minimum wage. Oh, pay your council tax. Yeah, you got to pay this tax, you got to pay that tax, yeah? And like, but the thing is, if you're a millionaire, you can pay a fucking solicitor or a barrister to go, where am I obliged? Yeah, but if we start saying, where am I obliged? They're like, you're not qualified to ask that question. Well, that's it, exactly. It's full personal liability, mate. You know, and the whole. But there was I think it's up north somewhere. A guy got pulled over. I don't know if you've seen this. I'll send you a link. But it was in a local paper that the two coppers who pulled him over and arrested him, yeah, are now up for the civil case, and the police have turned around and said, we're not representing you. Yeah, and it was like he was found not guilty, so he's taken it to civil court because he got a traffic specialist solicitor, like fucking for traffic law, and the solicitor just ripped apart their prosecution. He paid $8,000 for him, and now he's gone to the cops to say, well, you owe me $8,000 because I just paid him. Yeah, and the police force has gone, well, nothing to do with us. You got to see these two coppers. Yeah. Oh, they're nothing to do with us. Like, you know what I mean? You guys looks like you got to pay the fucking $8,000. So there is the chink there, like you say, like there's no accountability, there's no liability. Yeah, but the thing is, if you've got $8,000, you can make them liable. That's what once again, it boils down to that. They've priced us out of the market every single time. You know what I mean? And this is why people need to get together and get their slave credits and put them all into an account and say, right, who wants to be first? Who wants to take this copper to the civil courts? Because the beauty of the fucking financial crisis is that the coppers can't afford to defend their people in the civil courts. And I mean, there's so many barrack room lawyers, there's so many lawful rebels and that now, like, who are saying, oh, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. Okay, sound, get and do it, get and find someone, innit? I did a couple of videos called the Jock Doctrine, yeah? Because my mate who I was talking about earlier, like, he's a jock. And I don't know if they still do it. So some people have commented, like, yeah, but they get to choose the judicial alternative. Like, they're like, oh, you're getting a fine. No, I'll take the judicial alternative. I was like that. What's the judicial alternative? Well, you take the cells. You know what I mean? And the thing is, the cells in Glasgow, the prison was so full that I can't remember the terminology, but it was like a revolving door system. So you go in on the Friday and you come out on the Monday and you've done your stretch. You know what I mean? Or you go in on the Thursday and come out on the Tuesday, yeah, and you've done your stretch and you're clean again. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now they've managed to cow us so much now. We're like that. Oh, I want community service. Please give me community service. Fuck off, mate. No, I don't want community service, and I ain't paying you fine. Yeah. And if everybody did that, it would crumble because they can't afford it. I mean, the group 4, they fucking, you know what I mean, all these private prisons, they'd have to fucking start building them like fucking max, like, you know what I mean? People, and it would, but then you're not, because they're not getting the fines, because people are going, I'm not paying the fine. Take me to prison. You're costing them money. Once it becomes not cost effective to do all this bullshit that they're doing to us, they're going to have to stop.
Well, that's the reason they want to introduce the American system. where you work when you're in prison.
Yeah.
Then they'll be getting more of us in there to do some free work.
No, but you don't. You're free. Am I obliged to do that work? You know what I mean? Am I obliged? Gordon Hall. Like, I've listened to a lot of his stuff. I've never spoken to the man. Yeah, but I can't remember his website. But you know Gordon Hall. Have you heard of him? No. He's part of the sovereign movement over in America, and he's done prison, like, and they'll be like, Mr. Gordon Hall, and his answer every single time was like, am I obliged to do that? Do you have evidence, or can you show me proof of claim that I've agreed to any of this? You know what I mean? And he kept saying it. He was kept in prison for a while, but now he doesn't go to prison anymore. You know, now if everybody took on that mentality of actually being responsible and going, well, yeah, well, the fucking We Are Changed Telford, Lee, yeah, he's got a channel on YouTube, yeah, and he deregistered his car. I don't know if you saw the yellow Skoda pickup. They got deregistered, FMOTL on his number plate and everything. Driving around for ages he was, and then they fucking got him. He got his car back without having to pay for it and that, as far as I know. But ever since then, they've been trying to bring a case to him, and he's just batting it away and batting it away. He's going, from what I understand, he's going the return to sender route, and he's still getting scary letters. His last message to me was like, I'm getting the scary letters, but I'll just take it when it comes. And like, when he first told me he was doing that, I was very much in the state of mind of like, oh, but if you do your paperwork, you know what I mean? You won't go to prison. You just need to do this and you just need to do that. But it's like you say, mate, they got force. Yeah. They got battering rams, mate.
There was a mainstream case the other day. That bloke who was naked rambler. And they basically admitted that, they put him in prison. As soon as he came out of prison,
he takes his clothes off, like, yeah.
Yeah, he came out naked anyway.
Yeah.
They arrested him.
Yeah.
But there was no complaint from the public.
Never, yeah.
So they basically fitted him up every time. And they've let him out and said, oh yeah, because he was on that stupid rights show.
Yeah. I've seen it a few times.
Saying, telling us, oh, there is no law for being naked. It's just a breach of the peace.
Yeah, but for it to be a breach of the peace, just like fucking, what was that footballer who was just in the papers for racist comments? What was his name? John Terry, is it? Yeah. But the beauty now, the thing is, what people missed out, and once again, the Jock Doc fucking pointed this out to me. Yeah, it was an off-duty copper that brought the complaint. It wasn't even the black dude who thought he'd been called a nigger. By John Terry, who turned around and said, what, I called you a black nigger, a nigger? And it's some off-duty copper. I bet he wasn't even watching it live. I bet he fucking found it on YouTube and went, right, I'm putting in a complaint. Yeah, and the judge, no jury, the judge on his own went, there's no case here. Because and the black dude afterwards went, 30 minutes later, they shook hands. Yeah, so there's actually no case, and that's what the judge had to find, and this is what people are not noticing. Nobody noticed that. Nobody noticed that it was a fucking copper who brought the complaint in, and nobody noticed that the judge went, there ain't no complaint. Yeah, they just went, oh, he got off with it. Yeah, because the judge actually turned around and said there was no breach of the peace. Yeah, because that's what it was all down to. Like you say, where's the breach of the peace?
So now they've decided to, because he's done 6 years for being naked.
Yeah.
So now they just decided if anybody makes a complaint, they might arrest him again. But before they broke,
Yeah. He's been kidnapped and fucking held. But no complaint from the public. There was a Channel 4 program a few years ago. Before, it must have been 6 years ago. Yeah, where he actually travelled. He went from Land's End to John O'Groats, and he went with his missus, and they were both naked and that. Yeah, the guy who was videoing him, they're on they're on these cliffs or something, and the guy who's filming him, there's somebody walking along with their kids or something. This bird just starts attacking the cameraman, saying, you're sick, and you see him running with it, like, you know what I mean? So the bird didn't even give a shit that there was a naked fella and a naked bird, she actually just gave a shit that somebody was videoing it. You sick fucker. You know what I mean? That's how ridiculous it is. But the difference is, He's not earning 30 million a week kicking a fucking pig's bladder around. You know what I mean? He's just an unpaid slave, not a highly trained slave. You know what I mean? Oh well, not even trained, just highly paid, like a trophy slave. You know what I mean? But once again, like it's good that you mentioned that they've actually let him go, because if he had some friends and some funds, he could actually take them to civil court. Take them all to civil court and earn some dollar. They might not pay him, but they'll definitely leave him alone. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. It's like Gordon Hall, from what I remember. I haven't listened to him for a few years, but he never actually got paid. But what he got was a lot of liability orders made out to other people, and that's how they leave you alone. Because you need to know you need to know court procedure. Yeah, you can't just go, oh, I'm in a trust. No, it don't work. That's proven. It's proven it don't work. Like, you know what I mean? Not unless you've got millions and millions and millions of pounds to go, I'm in a trust, and I can pay them to say how much I'm in a trust. You know what I mean? And it's a real shame that people are looking in that. I mean, I did it myself. Yeah, I mean the People's Public Trust and that. I don't get it. I just don't comprehend it, because it's all their shit. Like you said, you're using their paperwork against them. Look, what I'm learning the procedures and that to make sure that they do their job the way they say they've got to. That's the only way out of it. And the thing is, they're just as poorly educated as we are now. You know what I mean? They used to take pride in their work. Yeah. If you go to a court now, yeah, and you ask about, oh, this case, blah blah blah, what do I do? Yeah, the first answer you'll get is like, oh, we're not allowed to give you legal advice, you need to see a solicitor. The second, your reply to that is, I'm not asking legal advice, I'm asking about procedure. And under the Court Procedures Act, or it's not that, but under such and such, which you investigate yourself, like, you know what I mean, yeah? You go, it's under this part of the court procedures that you are obliged to tell me what I need to do as part of the procedure, because I want to put this statement in, or I want to quit who was the investigating officer by the CPS. You know what I mean? It's questions like that if you start asking them, that the charges will get dropped. Yeah, and I've learned this from two guys, yeah, who have got nothing to do with lawful rebellion, who've got nothing to do with free man on the land, yeah, and they were getting screwed by the police, yeah, and they just ended up sacking their own briefs, yeah, and learnt about court procedure, and that was just from going online and finding out how they managed to get him to court, yeah. So they just went, these guys are idiots. Surely they don't even know how they got us to court. And lo and behold, they'd missed out like 7 parts of the procedure. There was no paperwork, and they just going, all right, okay, I'm happy to come to court, but can you just show me the bit, you know? And one guy, he was like that, look, I want to know the name of the CPS's investigating officer who said that this should go to trial, because from what I've seen and from the statements that are against me, yeah, that he's an idiot. Yeah, and I want to speak to him, and I want to see him in a civil court. Yeah, and well, he didn't actually say civil court. I mean, he emailed me loads and loads of stuff, but he still got it all on file. But he was just basically a layman just asking the correct questions. You know what I mean? And the biggest question was, who is he? I want to see him. And they went, no, we're not giving you his name. And he was like, no, but you're obliged to tell me, because I need to know, full disclosure, who decided that this could go to court? And they were like that, oh no. He got adjourned, got dropped.
Because they want to give you the name, because then you can go after him.
Exactly. That's why now when you ask a copper their name, collar number 4136. Well, I've done a video, is that your name? Is it? Were you born 316? You know what I mean? Oh no, well of course you weren't. But it's like that video I did with George. Yeah, have you seen that one? I suggest you get back in your vehicle and walk away. Like, yeah, the copper pulled me over, and it was in the middle of the night. Yeah, it was just down the road, and he was like, "Oh, I need your name." And I turned around and said, what, has this van been reported in a criminal act? Like, has it been reported? No. Right, okay. And I'd given him my name, and he was like, I want your address and that. I was like, why? He goes, because I want to verify who you are. I said, what, are you calling me a liar? Yeah. Now, that's a very, telling questions because they're not allowed to accuse you of being something unless they have evidence, yeah? So I was like, I've told you my name. He's like, yeah, but I need your address so I can verify you are who you say you are. I'm like, why, are you calling me a liar? And like, I asked him that 4 times, yeah, and every single time his answer was, I just need to verify you are who you say you are. Oh, so you're calling me a liar then? No, I'm not calling you a liar, because I don't want to be liable for that. You know what I mean? Because that's what they're trained. I'm just doing my job. No, you ain't doing your fucking job, mate. You know what I mean? Well, doing my duty. Yeah? If you're doing your duty, yeah, you'd have gone and arrested all those fuckers who blacked out all the expenses forms. You know what I mean? Yeah? Go and arrest them and fucking ask them why they did that. What have they got to hide, mate? You know what I mean? Well, that's what I said to him at the time and a few other things, like. But that told me that I was onto the right bounds, right path, and I was asking him, are you calling me a liar? Because they can't do shit like that. They've got set rules. I've got the police handbook, mate. I fucking carry that with me now, like, you know what I mean? And it'll tell you there's only 8 things they can arrest you for. But like somehow they've managed to turn that into umpteen thousand, like, you know what I mean? But once you get to the police station, you can go, right, did this happen, did this happen, did this happen? Did you evaluate the person? You know what I mean? Did you find evidence of the person either be... Because there's 3 things that they can actually only arrest you for, really, yeah? Which is either being caught in the act of committing a criminal offence, yeah? Either on your way, be suspected of being on your way to committing a criminal act, or on your way back from committing a criminal act. But there has to be evidence, there has to be suspicion, yeah? And that's why I say to him, are you calling me a liar? Has this van been reported in any criminal stuff? Are you looking for a geezer in a fucking Ferrari cap, are you? And he's like, no. Then why the fuck have you stopped me? You know what I mean? And it's that attitude that we need to fucking reinstall, because like people, I mean, my heart was pounding like when the blue lights flash, mate. You're like that, fucking adrenaline, like, you know what I mean? And like fucking 9 times out of 10, I got fucking smoke. Like, luckily I didn't that time. You know what I mean? Because then you can be mouthy. But it's like fucking half the time you're thinking, oh shit, I don't want them to catch me with a bit of medicine. You know what I mean? Oh, it's unlicensed medicine. You know what I mean? There's no profit in it. Oh, yeah, the alternative media. And it's like, I was born awake, yeah. I'm not being big-headed here. My mum was brilliant, yeah. She let me realise a lot of stuff at a young age, and she had a lot of books that were just there for me to read. And I read Brave New World in 1984 before I was 12, like, you know, and I listened to Pink Floyd The Wall from the age of 8 almost constantly, so I'd almost conditioned my mind to go, fuck off, you know what I mean? But I've been meeting a lot of people who like are getting into the free man stuff and the alternative news, and one guy, he's like, oh, David Icke's brilliant, yeah, if it wasn't for David Icke I wouldn't be awake, yeah, and they put straight away he's on a pedestal, yeah. And I mean, David Icke's sound, I'm not calling him a bad man, yeah, I'm not, but the thing is, all these people, so this guy, he was a bouncer. He's a proper Norman, yeah. You know what I mean? Normal guy, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's only in the past sort of 2 or 3 years that he's gone, oh fuck, there's something not quite right here, yeah. And he's split up with his missus. He's a proper straight family guy, yeah. And it was like, it's not necessarily him, but like it's almost the mentality of like, oh, I've stopped reading the red tops and the mainstream media because they just bullshit me, and now I've found an alternative news source, and they're not going to lie to me because they're not telling me the same shit as them, yeah. So people are once again getting sucked into a whole new network of possible bullshit. You know what I mean? Because what happens is like you'll read something like, and you go, oh yeah, that rings with the truth in me, and you'll hear somebody talk about it, and you'll go, oh well, that's the truth, yeah, and you'll put those 2 truths together without actually examining anything else around them. You know what I mean? To think, well, is this 100%? You know?
It's
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just fuck off, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you want alternative media, like, or alternative learning, yeah. Well, we need to. Well, it's happening more and more. But instead of just talking about the problems, yeah, just say, well, we don't have to be part of that problem. Yeah, we don't have to have that media or know what they're doing next. Yeah, what we need to do is just establish what we're going to do. You know what I mean? It's and you get a lot of people in alternative media that are just fucking fear-based, yeah, and they attach the stories to that fear, and then you get a lot of people who have gone, wow, yeah, right, I get that, yeah, and that really rings well with me, and it's almost like a religious reaction that they won't have anything alternative on what they've now believe, because it's been presented them to in a way where I won't believe them, you know what I mean, but I now believe them. I mean, I'm repeating myself. Stopping being sheep in one area and just following another herd, which for all intents and purposes could have been set up to make them, just keep them in a certain avenue, you know what I mean? Yeah, well, it's like that. I did a video about Holly Gregg, and the guy who watched the video actually emailed the BBC and said, I can't believe you've done that. And I know the BBC ain't 100% good, yeah, but it's not 100% evil either, because you've got good people working there, yeah. And when it came to the Holly Gregg case, he was like, why did you stop doing that Panorama programme? And they fucking wrote back, like, yeah, and they said, he sent me the email, and they actually said, look, we checked this out, we checked that out, we checked that out, we actually checked that out, yeah? And I didn't even think, it had been presented to me that they just dropped it. They dropped it because somebody nobbled them, yeah? And I took that as gospel until I saw the email from the BBC. But because I mentioned that in the video, and I've done other videos where I called the BBC a massive terrorist organisation, yeah? And so people, but because I said, no, and it made me think differently, yeah, it made me think, I need to investigate this further, you know what I mean, to satisfy my interest, rather than just taking it as gospel, which is what I'd done, yeah, because I thought other people had done the investigating for me, and it turns out that they hadn't fucking done the investigating for me. But I was in the mindset of satanic ritual, yeah, you know what I mean? And the emotion that came, so I'm digressing. So I left that emotional side, yeah, and I put my critical thinking hat on, yeah, and when I mentioned that, this guy, oh man, he got really angry. The BBC's okay now, according to you. And I'm like, look mate, please, because he was calling me a paid shill, and I was like, okay, provide me with the evidence, because none of this is done for profit, yeah. I've got ways and means of earning my own fucking money, yeah. The truth is free, freedom is free as far as I'm concerned, yeah. And he was like that, no, you're obviously a shill, you've been bought out, and like, you're a paedophile. I was like that, what? He's saying, yeah, you're a pedo skag, a skag rat, yeah. And like, fucking, you're just a junkie pedo, and we've dealt with people like you. And I was just like, Christ, man, all I've done is been honest and gone, fuck, sorry guys, I've released a video, yeah, where I made all these claims saying that Down syndrome can't lie, yeah, and it turns out that I'm fucking, I didn't do any investigating, yeah, and that brings me to the point of, we have lots of people in the alternative media now who feed on fear, yeah, and I'm going to name them, mate. You got Ian R. Crane, you got fucking Ike, yeah, you got fucking Gerish, you got Hayes, yeah, they're all feeding on the fear first and then coming up with plans later, yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, fucking hell, man, like, the fear is the fucking problem. I'm digressing, but it's still, once again, because of the sensationalist mentality that people have come from through the media over the last fucking 30 years, and even before, like fucking the sensationalist news that was happening during the Second World War, all that propaganda on all sides, yeah. In the First World War, it's always been sensational. So then people leave that mindset of belief, well, not that mindset, what they do is they go, right, I'm not listening to you anymore, but then they go and listen to other people that they now consider to be telling them the truth, yeah, presenting sensational, emotive stuff, Yeah. So then you go onto the forums and you got all these fuckers like that's why I stopped going on TPUC, because you got but it's the Catholic Church, they're fucking everybody, and if it ain't the Catholic Church, it's the Queen who's a Zionist German, and it's all their fault, and there's nothing we can do. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, what's the fucking point then? Why have you even stopped? You might as well just keep fucking buying. You're paying for Help for Heroes, yeah, and your poppies to remember all those people that were slaughtered in the First World War. Let's celebrate that every fucking year, yeah, instead of fucking going, right, well, it's obviously not working, yeah, what else can I fucking do? You know what I mean? I mean, if you look around here, yeah, this is actually fucking a circle of trees that were fucking cut down, pollarded, yeah, and they fucking put branches across the top, yeah, and some of them, and they've just regrown, yeah, and you can actually live here, yeah, you'd be living on this planet, enjoying your fucking self. I mean, we've got the technology now where you can have fucking solar panels powering all your gadgets and broadcasting your own fucking shit. But people are like, no, I've got other shit to do, and I'd rather just fucking read the emotions and then type about it on forums. And that's the mindset that's fucking us all up. It's the sensationalist attitude that people fucking don't even realise they're in. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe I'm just getting more... When I first started doing this stuff, I was really positive. I was like, yeah, we've won already. Hugging people and that. Yeah! But the thing is, I was already pissed off before I started doing this, so I sort of went like, to, oh yeah, everybody's gonna love each other. And then now I'm just back to, they're all a bunch of fucking wankers, you know what I mean? And they're all in it for profit, yeah? And I can't trust anybody who's in it for profit. I'm sorry, yeah? Because profit is the fucking problem, yeah? You know what I mean? Value is what I'm looking for, not profit, yeah? Ooh, right, what does power mean to me? To me, power means electricity, yeah? Because that is, or because if I've got electricity, yeah, means I can build, I can make my life, yeah. But I take it you don't mean that like power as in perceived authority, like. Well, if you're talking perceived power. It's a cliche, but it does corrupt, like, you know what I mean? Because it's perceived power, yeah, and people who think they've got the power corrupt themselves. You know what I mean? It's just inherent in that whole process. When you've got a lot of people going, yeah, you start thinking that everything you say is right. You know what I mean? And then you won't be hearing anybody who turns around and says, you're wrong, yeah? And actually, that's when it becomes dangerous power, yeah? Because you turn around to a man who thinks he's right and thinks he's been right for 20 years, and you now tell him that he's wrong, you watch him explode, yeah? And that happens. Well, Tony Blair, he was in it for 10 years. Thatcher, what was she, 11 years? Or 12, I can't remember. Yeah. Well, it's 12 years. Yeah, I think she did 4 terms, like, yeah. That's 4 years of time, isn't it? But people end up having to be pushed out. Or you got Gaddafi, you know what I mean? Or you got all these other ones that have been put up, and they're like, right, well, you have that power to fucking to kill people, like, you know what I mean? And that's only, and then they're doing it because they think they're doing it for the best of their country, allegedly, like, you know what I mean? I personally am on the fence when it comes to Gaddafi, but or if you take the power away from the government and put it in the hands of the privateers and the corporations, yeah, that's where it's actually power without a soul. You know, because nobody's in control of that power. It's just the computer. The computer's now in charge. You know what I mean? Yeah. you get these bank charges and that, yeah, and you phone them up. I've just had this letter, and like fucking my mum used to go through it, and she'd have paid something, but she'd still get the letter, and she'd be like that, oh, all emotional, like, oh, you're going to charge me 40 quid, oh. Well, it's a computer generated letter, there's nothing I can do about it, but don't worry about it, you know what I mean? But you can't even decide whether your computer's going to fucking send something out or not. It's almost like they're detaching themselves now, and now it's like that fucking Little Britain, computer says no. You know what I mean?
I would say a corporation and the government are one of the same.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah. But I mean,
because the only illusion that you vote them in.
Oh yes, yeah. But you've got to remember the poor deluded fuckers who think that they've been voted in. Yeah, there's still a small entity. Yeah, I'm not saying, because like we were saying, not everybody's evil. Yeah, not everybody goes into politics thinking, sound, we can all piss in the same pot and drink it. You know what I mean? Quite a lot of people go into politics. I mean, I've got a lot of friends, I've got a few friends who who really believe in the political system. Yeah, and they are going to run for parliament, and I'm like, why the fuck are you going to do that? But it's the only way we can do it, you know. Okay, but once you're in there, the system's been set up in such a way that it's the civil servants who have the power anyway. You know what I mean? So there you go. But there's the illusion, because they say, it's the MPs you voted the MPs in. It's the fucking civil servants who get to decide or not. Like, you know what I mean? So then, what we need to do is stop having the secret civil servants. I mean, they're not secret, but nobody talks about them. Nobody in the media goes, fucking the Secretary to the General State fucking had a word with the Secretary of State to say fucking, we can't really do that, and presented him with these things, or had a word with so-and-so, because it's all behind closed doors. That's where the soul is locked, because it's not technically. I see where you're coming from, saying like they're both corporations. I don't dispute that at all, like, yeah, but there's still the human element, yeah, and it's like, my point was like, it's almost like they're taking the human element out now. You know, but luckily there's still men in Parliament. It's not just like fucking one massive server. You know what I mean? But just one guy fucking typing in like the Wizard of Oz, hiding behind the curtain. Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't go near the curtain. Don't go near the curtain. Oh, fuck, he's coming. You know what I mean? But once again, they've only got the power because we've given it to them, because we're still convinced that they've got it. You know what I mean? This is why fucking you've got to step forward. Like, they haven't got any power, mate. You know what I mean? But if you turn up in the middle of a city where they can all get their mates together and go, yeah, you ain't got the power, I got the fucking power. Look, I have the power of the love truncheon. You know what I mean? Yeah? Batter. No, right, okay. You want that? You want to have your power in your city? Let's all fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, there's fields here, man, yeah, that you could build fucking sustainable housing and dwelling on, like, yeah, that yourselves, yeah, and you can just fucking go and live somewhere else. You'll get your people, you can't do that, yeah, and I know they kick people off of Dale Farm and that, yeah, but Dale Farm, I think, went about it the wrong way. You need to know your civil law is private fucking property. The council need to get on, like, fucking see if there's planning permission. Well, okay, pay your fee and you can come on. You know what I mean? I don't work for free. That's my philosophy. I'm going to be practicing that with my land. You know what I mean? They can come along and try and fucking get on. You know what I mean? But I'll be like, yeah, okay, sign here. You're more than welcome to come in. Where's your fee? What's your credit card number? You know what I mean? They'll be like, fuck off. We don't want to speak to him. It's going to cost us too much money. And that's power. Whew. But it's perceived once again. I mean, like, fucking once you take the bollocks off a copper verbally. Yeah, and you establish. I mean, look what happened with Danny Shine, mate. Yeah, when fucking the coppers stopped him. You ran that red light. Is that what you're saying? What? What do you mean? Is that what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's trying to get him to answer a self-incriminating question. Yeah. Now Danny knows that I'm not going to answer any self-incriminating questions. Do you know you just ran through that red light? Is that what you're saying? He was like that. No, you're supposed to say yes or say no. You know what I mean? Well, I'm saying you are. And in court, the copper's always right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Danny fucking dealt with that. There was serious aftermath. He did get arrested, like, you know what I mean? And that was a mess. Like, they came mob-handed, as they will do, because he's living in the city. Yeah. Well, they didn't even come mob-handed. The copper actually fucking turned up with his mate. Yeah. And just tried to enforce an arrest. And like, because Danny was like, I'm going into my house, they were like, call back up. And then there was the standard fucking 7 vans turned up and took him away. But they knew they were in the wrong, because it was the first time I've ever seen fucking coppers screwing the locks back on the door. Sorry, you know what I mean? Yeah. He had a word, and he knew his procedure, and it's all down to procedure. The power is knowing how they're doing it to you. You know what I mean? That's the only reason why there is any power out there is because they've told you that they've got power, and they haven't told you how, and you haven't asked how. How did you get that? I mean, I was moved around for years in me bus, like, you know what I mean? And every time I went to a new county, especially at the festival time, like, they'd be like that. Oh, can you get out, please? Oh, okay, I'll get out. Right, we've got to fill in these forms. Have you got any tattoos? No, but I've got a scar. Oh, where's your scar? Well, it's here. Oh, can you take your top off for me, please? Oh, okay. Like that. Fucking, there you go. Fucking, I've got a fucking mole on me bollock, like, you know what I mean? There you go, yeah, right, all that down. And I did that fucking ages and ages, and then they brought the Criminal Justice Act in, and that just stopped everybody fucking having parties and doing what they wanted to do, yeah? And that's when I got back into work and everything. And well, and I really became part of the system. You know what I mean? Really tried working hard, and that just made me even angrier and angrier and angrier. And then it wasn't until I saw your mate's fucking video, It's an Illusion, where it was like, it's down to consent. What? And then I thought, yeah, every time they said, would you please take your t-shirt off? And I was like that, yeah, because I was thinking it was an order. It's not, it's never an order, it's a fucking request. You know what I mean? And it's about time that everybody starts realising that and just going, no, yeah? And dealing with the fear and with the consequences of them going, what do you mean, no? Right. With Cell's fucking interview. Yeah, sound. Yeah, fucking put me in there, like, 2 sugars, please, mate. You know what I mean? Oh, I need some laundry doing as well. You know what I mean? They offered to wash my clothes for me. Sound, fucking get it done, mate. Abuse them, abuse the system. It's a fucking lovely hotel. If you like fucking echoey fucking room and a plastic mattress, fucking wicked. But you know what I mean? I mean, you paid for it, you might as well use it. But yeah, that's my the power is down to perception. Let's talk about the weather. Have you noticed the wetness that's been happening recently? Like fucking, they declared, what was it, 2 months ago, maybe 3, like, yeah, that it's been the driest fucking winter on record, which, as far as I remember, it's been fucking raining most of the time where I've been living through the winter. And then they said, oh, it's been the driest winter, our reservoirs are not full. Yeah, so we're going to have hosepipe bans. As soon as they said we've got the hosepipe ban, suddenly it starts raining and just continuous fucking raining. Yeah. Now, I haven't investigated this in any way whatsoever. Yeah. I comprehend what weather manipulation is, though. I know that weather was being manipulated during the Vietnam War. They were cloud seeding and caused it to rain constantly. Yeah. So I have an uneducated theory at this moment in time that because there are corporations that get paid to make it rain, yeah, or to make it sunshine and everything like that. And I've got a feeling that somebody was getting paid to make it rain, yeah? And look at the damage that this rain has caused. What's to say that like 3 different water companies didn't hire 3 different weather manipulation companies, yeah, none of them talking to each other, all booked in loads of fucking water so they could fill their reservoirs, yeah, and so you got an abundance of planes flying around creating rain, none of them knowing about each other, going, oh fuck me, Fred's flying over there, he's on the double shift, is he? You know what I mean? Yeah, so now we've got fucking people being flooded out, houses being destroyed, cars being destroyed, how's this for a fucking theory? So if it is being done commercially, think of all those poor insurance companies that are having to pay out right now. You know what I mean? God, I feel really sorry for them. How about a few people doing some freedom of information requests to the Met Office and the water companies as to if they've had any weather manipulation paid for to create the rain? Because then maybe, just maybe, those companies could be held liable by the insurance companies. And I don't think they'll be able to afford the fuel to go back up again after that. I mean, it's just a funny theory that I've got, you know what I mean? And to add a bit of gravitas to this dodgy theory I've got, when the Beijing Olympics happened, which we're having the London Olympics happening next week, is it, or the week after? And suddenly the sun's shining, yeah? The Beijing Olympics, the Chinese actually advertised the fact that they had the best sun in the Olympics for the last few Olympics because they actually changed the weather around the venues. Yeah, they actually fucking purposefully made the sun shine. Yeah, and look what's happening now. We've had rain for fucking months and now the sun's starting to shine. Let's see if the sun shines all the way through the Olympics and then it starts raining again afterwards. That's basically my theory anyway.